As a brain doctor, I'm shocked. This common vitamin taken by millions of seniors every day can silently raise your risk of stroke overnight. No warning signs, no pain. You go to sleep feeling fine, and by morning you can't speak clearly, your arm won't move, or your balance is gone. The scariest part? You think you're doing something healthy. But in reality, this small habit may quietly push your brain toward disaster. I've seen it happen too many times. People in their 70s and 80s, sharp, active, full of life, suddenly wake up changed forever. Not because of their diet, not because of their age, but because of a vitamin they took before bed. That's why in this video I'm going to share 5 vitamins that may harm your brain after 60, especially if taken in the wrong dose or at the wrong time. And I'll also show you safe, natural foods you can use instead, proven to protect your memory, circulation, and clarity without risky side effects. If you're taking supplements, or you care for someone who does, this might be the most important video you watch this year. Let's begin. 1. Vitamin D can silently trigger stroke overnight. You've heard it's good for your bones, good for your immune system, even good for your mood. But what you may not know is that too much vitamin D, especially when taken at the wrong time, can quietly put your brain at serious risk. And the danger often strikes at night while you're sleeping. No warnings, no pain, just a sudden, devastating change when you wake up. Let me explain why. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, meaning it builds up in your body over time. It doesn't flush out like vitamin C. That's not always a bad thing, but in high doses, it becomes a problem. When there's too much vitamin D in your system, it increases calcium absorption in your blood. At first, that sounds like a good thing for bones. But when calcium levels get too high, the body struggles to manage it. The extra calcium can harden inside your arteries, making them stiff, narrow, and more prone to blockage. And where does that blockage often strike? The brain. I remember one of my patients, Mr. Walter, a 74-year-old retired Navy veteran. He was active, sharp, and followed a strict daily routine. Every morning, he took a handful of supplements, including a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule he bought over the counter. He believed it was protecting his bones, but no one told him he was slowly walking toward a silent danger. One morning, his wife found him confused. His speech was slurred, his right arm wouldn't move. He'd suffered a stroke overnight. His lab results showed extremely high calcium levels and blood pressure spikes. His arteries were stiff. His stroke wasn't caused by age or diet. It was caused by vitamin D toxicity. Now, Mr. Walter's story isn't rare. In fact, many seniors unknowingly take far more vitamin D than they need, believing that more is better. But that's not how this vitamin works. Most older adults only need about 600 to 800 IU per day. And unless your doctor has confirmed a deficiency through blood work, going above 2,000 IU daily could slowly become dangerous. Shockingly, many over-the-counter supplements contain 5,000 or even 10,000 IU in a single capsule. But the issue doesn't stop there. The timing of your supplement also matters. Taking vitamin D at night, especially with calcium or blood pressure medication, can amplify the risk. During the night, your body naturally lowers its blood pressure and slows circulation to support sleep. But if you flood it with calcium from a late-night supplement, you increase the chance of arterial stiffness just as your brain is most vulnerable. And that's when the stroke risk spikes. What makes this so terrifying is the silence. There are no symptoms of vitamin D overdose at first. You feel fine. Until one day, everything changes. And for some, that change is permanent. But here's the good news. You don't need to fear vitamin D. You just need to respect it. Like any powerful tool, when used the right way, it helps. When misused, it harms. So what can you do instead? First, get your vitamin D levels checked before taking high doses. Blood tests are simple and accurate. Don't guess. No. Second, try to get your vitamin D from natural sources whenever possible. Just 10 to 15 minutes of morning sunlight 3 to 4 times a week is enough to help your body create what it needs, naturally. If you live in a place with less sunlight, or you're indoors most of the time, add food sources like salmon, sardines, mackerel, egg yolks, and fortified plant milks to your routine. These options offer vitamin D in a form your body can absorb safely and gradually, without overload. And if you do take supplements, take them in the morning, never at night. Stick to a dose your doctor recommends, typically no more than 800 to 1,000 IU per day, unless you're deficient. Never assume more is better. Mr. Walter now takes his vitamin D in the morning at the right dose with close monitoring. He's doing better, and his story has helped others avoid the same mistake. So remember this: vitamin D is not your enemy, but taken the wrong way, it can quietly become one. Don't wait for a scare. Be informed, be careful, and choose wisely. 2. Vitamin E can cause brain bleeding. You may think of vitamin E as the heart helper, and for years that's exactly how it's been marketed. Magazines, supplement bottles, and even well-meaning friends have praised it for circulation, memory, and skin health. But here's what almost no one tells you. In high doses, especially when combined with heart medications, vitamin E can increase your risk of brain bleeding. Not a clot, a bleed. And in the brain, even a small bleed can change everything. Let me tell you about one of my former patients, Mrs. Evelyn Brooks. She was 81 years old, a retired librarian from Ohio full of charm and wit. She had a heart valve issue and was on warfarin, a common blood thinner. Her doctors monitored her regularly and everything seemed stable, until one day, she picked up a bottle of natural vitamin E from a magazine ad. It promised better circulation and sharper memory. Each capsule had 800 IU. 3 weeks later, she was rushed to the emergency room with a severe headache, confusion, and vomiting. The CT scan showed a hemorrhagic stroke, a brain bleed. Her blood work revealed nothing unusual, no trauma, no spike in blood pressure. The cause? Her blood was too thin to clot, a result of the warfarin combined with high-dose vitamin E. Here's the science behind it. Vitamin E, especially in doses above 400 IU per day, acts as a natural anticoagulant. That means it slows your body's ability to form clots. If you're already on blood thinners like aspirin, Plavix, or warfarin, adding high-dose vitamin E increases your bleeding risk, especially in fragile vessels like those in the brain. And unlike a blood clot, which can sometimes be reversed with medication, a brain bleed often causes irreversible damage, loss of speech, memory, or mobility. Mrs. Brooks survived, but her life changed. She now walks with a cane. Her short-term memory hasn't fully recovered. She told me through tears, "I just wanted to help myself. I had no idea I was doing harm." And sadly, she's not alone. Most seniors don't realize that the recommended daily intake for vitamin E is just 15 milligrams, or about 22 IU. But many supplements on store shelves contain 200, 400, even 1,000 IU per capsule. There are no bold warnings, no consultation required, and many people take them daily for years. So, what can you do? First, understand that you likely don't need a high-dose vitamin E supplement at all. Studies have shown that most people, especially those with a balanced diet, get enough from food. In fact, vitamin E from food is far better absorbed and balanced than any pill. Here are some safe, natural ways to support your heart and circulation without risking a brain bleed. Almonds, sunflower seeds, and hazelnuts are rich in natural vitamin E in safe amounts your body can handle. Spinach, broccoli, and avocados offer vitamin E plus antioxidants and fiber, which support both your brain and your heart. Olive oil is another great source, especially when used in place of butter or processed fats. If you're taking any kind of blood thinner, talk to your doctor before starting vitamin E. Even natural supplements can interfere with medications in ways most people don't expect. A simple blood test and medication review can save your life. And if you're using a multivitamin, check the label. Make sure the vitamin E content is no higher than 22 IU per day unless your doctor has advised otherwise. The truth is, vitamin E is not evil, but when combined with the wrong medication or taken in large doses, it becomes risky, especially after 60. And the damage it causes may not show up until it's too late. So take a moment today. Look at the supplements in your cabinet. Read the fine print. Think about your medications. And ask yourself, is this really helping or could it be hurting? Because protecting your brain is not about taking more. It's about taking what's right in the right way. If this part spoke to you or reminded you of someone you care about, please share it. It could help them avoid a quiet danger hiding in plain sight. Let's keep going. There's more you need to know. 3. Vitamin B6 may damage your nerves. You've probably seen it on shelves, bottles labeled nerve support, brain booster, or energy enhancer. and many of them contain high doses of vitamin B6. But here's the warning few people hear. Too much B6 can do the exact opposite of what you expect. It can slowly damage your nerves, and for some, that damage may never fully heal. This isn't just a rare side effect. It's something I've seen far too often, especially in older adults who take B6 daily without realizing the risks. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold Jenkins. He was 76, a retired truck driver from Kansas. He came to my clinic with tingling in his feet and hands. At first, he thought it was just poor circulation or maybe arthritis. But then the symptoms got worse. He started losing his balance. One night, he fell in the bathroom and hit his head. That's when his family brought him in for answers. When we looked at his supplement list, the problem became clear. Harold had been taking a nerve support formula with 100 milligrams of vitamin B6 per tablet. He was taking 2 per day. That's 200 milligrams daily, 20 times more than he needed. Over time, B6 had built up in his system and started attacking his nerves. The insulation around his nerve fibers, called the myelin sheath, had begun to break down, like stripping wires in your body. That's what caused the numbness, tingling, and loss of control. What many people don't realize is that vitamin B6 is water-soluble, but in high doses, it doesn't clear out fast enough, especially in older adults. Instead, it accumulates, and when it builds up, it interferes with the nerves responsible for movement, sensation, and balance. Some patients feel tingling in their hands and feet, others lose coordination. In the worst cases, people develop tremors or long-term weakness. And tragically, many of them were just trying to stay healthy. Now here's what the science says. The recommended daily intake of B6 for seniors is just 2 to 10 milligrams per day, including what you get from food. But many over-the-counter supplements contain 50, 100, or even 200 milligrams per dose, far more than your body can safely handle. And because the symptoms develop slowly, most people don't notice until real damage is done. They often think it's aging, or neuropathy, or early signs of dementia, but the cause might be sitting in their medicine cabinet. So what can you do? First, check your supplements carefully. If it says brain, nerve, or energy support, look at the B6 dose. If it's over 10 milligrams per serving, it may be too much. Second, focus on food-based sources of vitamin B6. They provide what your body needs in natural, balanced amounts, without the risk of toxicity. Good sources include bananas, chickpeas, chicken breast, salmon, spinach, potatoes, and fortified cereals. These foods support healthy nerve function and are easy to include in your meals. Third, if you're experiencing symptoms like tingling, numbness, or balance problems, talk to your doctor. Ask about your supplement use. A simple blood test can check your B6 levels and help prevent further damage. Mr. Jenkins was lucky. We caught the issue in time. After stopping the supplement, his symptoms stopped progressing. He still uses a cane, and he no longer drives, but he's stable. And now he tells everyone he knows to read the labels twice. So let's be clear. Vitamin B6 is essential for nerve function, but only in small amounts. Taking more doesn't give you more energy or a sharper brain. It just increases your risk of nerve damage, especially after 60. If you're watching this and thinking, I've taken B6 for years, don't panic. Just be aware. Check your dosage. Choose food first. And talk to your doctor if anything feels off. Because the goal isn't just to feel healthy today, it's to stay strong, steady, and independent for the years ahead. If this message helped you or reminded you of someone you care about, please share it. You might help them avoid permanent nerve damage from a pill that promised to protect them. We're not done yet. The next vitamin may surprise you even more. 4. Vitamin A can raise pressure inside your skull. Most people think of vitamin A as the eyesight vitamin, and yes, it's true. Vitamin A supports healthy vision, skin, and immune function. But here's what few people know, especially after 60. In high doses, vitamin A doesn't just help your eyes, it can quietly increase pressure inside your skull. And over time, that pressure can affect your brain, your vision, and your ability to think clearly. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, vitamin A is fat-soluble. That means your body stores it in your liver, your tissues, and even your brain. It doesn't leave your system quickly, and if you take too much for too long, it builds up silently. No symptoms at first. Then slowly, something changes. Let me share the story of Miss Dorothy Simmons, a 79-year-old retired piano teacher from Oregon. She was healthy, independent, and loved teaching music to children in her home. She also believed strongly in supplements. Every day, she took a skin and eye formula with 10,000 IU of vitamin A, thinking it would help her age gracefully. Over time, she started experiencing headaches. Then came the blurred vision, dizziness, nausea. One afternoon, she couldn't focus her eyes. Her daughter rushed her to the ER. The doctors feared a stroke, but after brain scans and spinal testing, the diagnosis was something different: intracranial hypertension, or high pressure inside the skull. The cause? Vitamin A toxicity. Her spinal fluid couldn't drain properly. The pressure was building, putting stress on tiny blood vessels in her brain. Her optic nerve was swollen. Her short-term memory was slipping, and she had no idea that a vitamin meant to help her eyes was now harming her brain. This condition is known as pseudotumor cerebri, a false brain tumor. It mimics the symptoms of a real tumor or stroke: blurred or double vision, balance problems, nausea, confusion, even permanent vision loss if left untreated. What makes this dangerous is how easy it is to overdose without knowing it. Many multivitamins already contain the full recommended dose of vitamin A, around 2,500 to 3,000 IU. But people often stack other supplements on top: anti-aging pills, skincare blends, eye health formulas. Before they know it, they're taking 5,000 to 10,000 IU or more every day, for years. And here's the challenge. As we age, our liver processes vitamins more slowly. That means the risk of buildup is even higher after 60. And once the symptoms appear, the damage may already be underway. So what's the safer way to support your eyes and immune system? First, avoid supplements with more than 2,500 IU of preformed vitamin A, often listed as retinol palmitate or retinol, unless your doctor specifically recommends it. Second, choose food-based sources of vitamin A, especially those rich in beta-carotene, which your body converts to vitamin A as needed. The body regulates beta-carotene naturally, so there's no risk of overdose. Excellent food sources include carrots, sweet potatoes, pumpkin, butternut squash, mangoes, and dark leafy greens like spinach and kale. These foods support healthy vision, skin, and immunity without putting pressure on your brain. And third, be cautious with eye support or anti-aging supplements that contain high-dose vitamin A. If you're already taking a multivitamin, you may not need anything extra. Miss Simmons is now in recovery. She takes regular eye pressure checks, her balance has improved, and she's replaced her pills with a colorful plate of vegetables. She told me, "I never thought too much of a good thing could turn against me." So let's be honest. Vitamin A is important, but in high doses, taken over time, it can quietly shift from a helper to a hazard. And after 60, your brain simply can't afford that risk. If you're taking multiple supplements, or know someone who is, take a few minutes today to check the labels. Look at the dosage. See if you're doubling up. And if you're unsure, ask your doctor for guidance, because your brain and your eyesight are worth protecting, not with more pills, but with more wisdom. If this message helped you, or reminded you of someone close to you, share it. You never know who might be walking the same path, quietly, unknowingly, at risk. Now let's move on to the final vitamin on our list. This one is often used for heart health, but in the wrong dose, it can trigger a stroke. 5. Vitamin B3, niacin, can spike blood pressure and trigger a stroke. It's often called the heart vitamin. Doctors prescribe it. Labels claim it helps lower cholesterol, and it's added to energy drinks, cereals, and heart support supplements. But here's what many seniors don't realize. In high doses, niacin, vitamin B3, can cause dangerous swings in your blood pressure. And for some, that swing can trigger a stroke. Let's break this down. Niacin helps your body convert food into energy. It supports healthy cholesterol and improves circulation. But when taken in large amounts, especially over 500 milligrams a day, it causes your blood vessels to expand suddenly. You might feel a warm flush in your face or a pounding in your chest. That's called vasodilation. Sounds harmless, right? But shortly after, the vessels constrict again, and that's where the real danger begins. This rapid expansion and contraction of blood vessels can confuse your cardiovascular system. Over time, it stresses your heart, throws off your blood pressure, and reduces blood flow to your brain. For older adults, this back-and-forth motion is like tapping a hammer on fragile glass. Eventually, something cracks. Let me tell you about Mr. Frank Miller, an 82-year-old retired postman from Florida. He'd always been proactive about his heart health. He took his blood pressure pills every morning, ate oatmeal, walked daily, but he also picked up a supplement labeled cholesterol and circulation support, thinking it was safe. The front said natural. The back showed 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving. He took it twice a day. Weeks later, Frank started feeling strange. Hot flashes, dizziness, pressure in his chest. One morning, his speech slurred for 2 minutes. Then it returned. His wife thought it was stress. But when they visited my office, the truth came out. Frank had suffered a transient ischemic attack or mini-stroke. The cause? The high-dose niacin had been yo-yoing his blood pressure. Combined with his medications, it created a perfect storm in his brain. What's most alarming is how common this is. Many seniors take over-the-counter niacin without realizing the dose. Others use flush-free or extended-release forms, thinking they're safer. But even those can elevate blood pressure, trigger irregular heartbeats, and affect blood sugar levels. So how much niacin is actually safe? For adults over 60, the recommended daily intake is around 14 to 16 milligrams. Anything over 50 milligrams per day should only be taken under medical supervision, especially if you have high blood pressure, heart rhythm issues, or take medications like beta blockers or blood thinners. Here's the good news. You don't need high-dose niacin to support your heart or circulation. Nature has provided safer, more stable options. Oats, barley, and brown rice are rich in natural B3 and support steady cholesterol levels without spiking your blood vessels. Peanuts, mushrooms, chicken breast, and tuna offer gentle, food-based niacin that your body recognizes and uses safely. Avocados, leafy greens, and olive oil help reduce inflammation and support vascular health without side effects. And perhaps most importantly, you don't need a megadose pill to take care of your heart. You need balance, hydration, movement, and the right foods, consistently, not dramatically. Mr. Frank is doing better now. He stopped the supplement, his blood pressure stabilized, no permanent damage. But his story is a reminder that even vitamins labeled natural can turn harmful if misused, especially after 60. So today, I invite you to open your supplement drawer. Look at the label. Does your bottle say 100 milligrams, 500 milligrams, or even 1,000 milligrams of niacin? If so, pause. Think. Talk to your doctor before continuing, because supporting your heart should never come at the cost of your brain. If this message made you stop and think, please share it with a loved one. Your story, your awareness, might just protect someone else. Now that you've heard about these 5 vitamins, let's talk about something even more powerful. The foods that protect your brain, naturally. You don't want to miss this next part. If you've made it this far, you now know the truth. Even common vitamins, when taken in the wrong dose or at the wrong time, can quietly harm your brain. We talked about 5 of them today. Vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin B6, vitamin A, and niacin. Each one has its benefits, but only when used wisely. So here's my advice. Check your labels, talk to your doctor. Choose real food when you can. Your brain doesn't need megadoses. It needs balance, hydration, and nutrients in their natural form. If this video opened your eyes, give it a like. Share it with a friend or family member. It might protect someone you love. Leave a comment and tell us what surprised you the most. And don't forget to subscribe to Senior Health Tips, where we bring honest, science-backed advice to help you stay strong, sharp, and independent at every age. To all our senior viewers, thank you for caring about your health. You are wise, resilient, and still learning every day. Take care of your mind, take care of your body, and above all, take care of yourself.